This presentation is made for teachers and employers who are interested in our program. PilotCity was started because the founder, myself, was coming back from college and discovered that my hometown was on a mission to transform itself into a city of innovation. And what I heard a lot about from the city government as we were pursuing the transformation of our city was the attraction of startups and attraction of talent as the main mechanism of transformation. My concern with that was that we weren't focusing on the young people and the citizens who are from the city to be the ones that help build the future of their city. These people who are from the city have an emotional investment in the city because they live there. In some cases, their mom and dad are there, their brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, and they have a connection to the city that no one else has. And typically, it's around somewhere between 5 to 10% of the entire population of a city is their youngest people. And so there's no other place besides the schools is where I could identify, become an engine for innovation for small to medium-sized cities to drive the city to advance and to grow. So PilotCity was born on the notion of transformation and advancement of our communities towards the future by creating an engine for innovation for cities powered by the educational system. The problem that we're solving is this. It's the disconnection between industry and education. On one hand, industry is transforming at an incredibly rapid pace nowadays, especially with the world of technology. And with this transformation, education essentially cannot keep up. The content that is changing in industry is transforming so quickly that education with the curriculum just can't reflect it as quick enough to actually deliver content to students that are relevant to the students to prepare them for the future. So the solution that we're creating is essentially connecting the two. So they're synchronous. And we essentially do that by creating living curriculum with industry. So we partner with industry and connect them into the classrooms and have students develop solutions for those industries. We do this by essentially connecting employers on the top hand bar here and teachers on the bottom bar here. And we do work predominantly with teachers in career technical education kind of courses, but that is changing more so now because we're starting to take math and science classes as well as English classes as well. And for the employers, we are working with predominantly technology companies because we want to start working with the future organizations that our students will work with and start to work with them to transform more legacy-based companies, which is also part of our plan. So we matchmake the two entities here, which are employers and teachers together. We do have an online website platform that allows for teachers and employers to connect to each other and to work together to engage students in the classroom. Our program predominantly consists of these two terminologies. One is project-based learning and the second is work-based learning. So what we do in our program is essentially partner with employers, design project-based curriculum and challenges, and bring that into the classroom to have students develop project-based solutions for the employers that qualify them for internships and fellowships and entry-level jobs with those companies. So we use project-based learning as a form of learning to engage students in a real-world project. And we equate that to work-based learning, which is a high-valued learning format that allows students to experience what work is like and what the work world is like. Our program is actually very simple. It's two things. First is a teacher externship. So teachers go into the workplace and experience a company or organization for an entire day that I will go into a little more later. But generally, it's a professional development experience for the teachers. On the other hand, it's afterwards, students engage in a 2 to 8-week project-based experience in the classroom that leads into internships and fellowships. So essentially, the solutions students create in the classroom qualify them for interviews and offers with employers to work for them during the summer. At this current point, we do work predominantly with high schools, and we will be working with community college very soon, as well as universities, and then bringing it back down to middle school, just for context on who we're working with as a population. So as a summary, there's a at-workplace externship that we work with teachers on, and then the teachers are all geared up. They understand all about the company and organization, and they bring the project-based challenge into the classroom to have students work on those. And as the students engage with the project, they get a better understanding of the employer, what their products and services are, and how to create solutions for them. In this case, it prepares them for opportunities with those employers for at-workplace internships. Our program timeline goes like this. We run a fall cohort with teachers and employers in the classroom, and then we run a spring cohort with teachers and employers in the classroom. And then those two cohorts essentially branch into the summer cohort, which is the summer internship and fellowship and entry-level job program. And typically that is about a 6 to 8 week summer program that's high impact at the workplace and getting students incredible experiences getting into jobs. The externship day looks like this. The teacher gets a substitute in the classroom that day, approved by their administrators, of course, and they get there at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and they tour and demo the products and services of the employer. So the employer is hosting this day at their workplace for a group of teachers typically. And then after the tour and demo, they go into designing the project challenge together after knowing more about the products and services at the tour and demo. And then go into kind of a lunch period, which is also kind of like logistics as well. And then thereafter lunch, there's a boot camp, which essentially is a training on the products and services of the employer. After that, they go into a practice of the products and services so teachers can get more hands-on and get more practice on how to use the tools so they can bring it back into the classrooms effectively. And then we have a certification ceremony, if you will, for the teachers so they get the professional development hours that they deserve after going to this externship day. This is Mr. Christensen, formerly with Oakland Unified School District at DJI Drones in Palo Alto for his Teacher Externship Day. Teachers will be able to manage their classrooms on our online platform as well and be able to see the ranking of the student teams, the project teams, along the way as they go. This is an example of a project-based challenge that we worked with DJI Drones on. In this case, it's a prototyping an autonomous drone mission that solves a challenge of one of the city's municipal government departments of that school. So students are programming drone missions for their local city government. Traditionally, we used to have a one-page sheet that states the challenge name and prompt, the logo, the context of the challenge, the parameters of the challenge, the checklist for the project, contact information for the employer, a get started folder, and so forth. But as we move towards the platform, we kind of phased this one out. So we will now have an online solution that allow the teachers, employers, or students to be able to hop on to understand the entire project challenge, as well as to build it. Traditionally, we also had employers go into the classrooms 3 times during the project period. Even though our employers love going into the classroom, it's just very time intensive for them to go into the classroom on 3 occasions So we're going to be essentially going towards more of an augmented solution of having employers go in perhaps once during the project time and be able to have connection to the students through digital means, which could even include video conferencing. And those items are a frequently asked questions page where students can ask questions, an office hours option for employers so they can actually be around live for a digital messaging session with students who pop up. And then students will be able to unlock to having direct messaging with the respective employers. And they can also request in-person field trips and in-person visits to the classroom as the students and teams and classrooms as a whole unlock that sequence. Students, again, for FAQ can ask questions on the left-hand side here, and then the employer will be able to answer them. For office hours, students will be able to hop on with the employer and be able to message them. So in this case, it may be weekly, maybe bi-weekly, maybe every 2 weeks, every month. It's dependent on the employer's time and availability. And then the employer and the student will be able to have access to messaging, but the student will have to unlock towards getting that type of privilege to the employer directly. And the whole point of our program is essentially creating employer-specific talent pools and creating a workforce innovating talent system that have value to the employers and of course to the students for their work experiences, as well as teachers for their professional development hours. And we will have a mechanism to allow students to apply, get interviews from the employers, and get offers for internships over the summer. And this is an elaboration of the offers for students, which include total hours of their work, days per week, hours per day, how many weeks, the duration, the location, description, the position, how much they're paying, and so forth. These are some of our engagements with employers in classrooms during our programs that are pulled from our video, and some of our demonstration days where employers went to the classroom for the final day of the project to have students present to them. So that is pretty much it for the presentation on our program. Employers, teachers, and students can sign up at www.pilotcity.com or schedule to talk to myself, Derek, at calendly.com/DerekLee/30min if you want to talk further. And that is all. Appreciate the time. Thank you.